Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, libertarian unifiers of all ages, this is Muh Radio.
Hey everyone, welcome to Muh Radio. My name is Steve.
And I'm Chris.
And Reese.
Hey Reese.
Hey, I'm here.
Hey. And,
Where'd you come from?
Showed up. It's kind of what I'm here.
It's like just magically appeared like right over there. Like you guys can't see that because it's the radio, but he just like wasn't here and then all of a sudden here.
Yeah. Dropped down from the rafters, man.
Like straight up like Spider-Man or something. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. So what have you guys been up to for the last couple weeks here? Anything good? Good news? Bad news?
House sale for us.
Good deal.
So we get to experience the selling process, all that fun stuff.
Oh, that's a lot of fun.
So learning experience.
Yeah, I bet. What about you, Chris?
When I wasn't working hella overtime, I was doing some crazy amount of organizing.
Oh.
Secret organizing.
Anything you want to share right now?
I can just tell you it has to do with a certain Larry Sharpe with the Libertarian Party.
Oh, that's a good thing. Larry Sharpe is a good guy.
He's gonna be making some waves really soon.
Well, let's hope so. I think so too.
More on that later.
Yes.
I actually had to find out about him because, he's still new name, libertarian in the party. I got on YouTube today, Facebook, all that, and I was looking up the guy, trying to find out who is he, what's his background, what does he come from. You actually shared that video, I don't know how new that was. It seemed
His are you talking about the one where he talks about his life?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's from when he was running for vice president in the
okay,
Libertarian
yeah,
Party.
at the end he said VP.
Yep.
Yeah, did not expect that. In fact, when I'd never heard him. When I heard him, it sounded different than I expected also, but interesting guy, interesting background, a guy of second chances. That's what he kind of says.
Yeah, I like how he pointed that out in that video, that he's all about second chances.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Libertarian Party itself is kind of like that. You make a mistake, but you can come back.
We like the 3-strike rule, I think.
And does that include leaving the party? So if you leave the party, will we welcome you back?
Two times.
2 times? Well, I know somebody that's left for the first time, so maybe when he comes back, if he leaves again, then we'll be able to welcome him back a third time.
Are we talking a major name here?
Oh, yeah.
Who are we talking about?
Austin Peterson.
Yeah, he was big news this week.
Yep.
I mean, it's something I more or less saw coming, so, I wasn't too shocked and dismayed, but, more power to him if he can make something happen in that capacity.
Well, like we said it multiple times on this show and on our YouTube show, Matube, is that we need to move the needle more towards freedom any way we can, because right now we're just keep going towards
authoritarianism.
Authorism?
We need like a trumpet fanfare and then authoritarianism. Can we get that?
Yeah, that word. That's the word. And so if he wins, all that does is help push that needle a little bit back towards freedom. That's all it does. So more power to him.
Yeah, I think maybe his timing is a bit off because I don't know how liberty friendly the Republican Party is these days, but
right.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, I hope that the people of Missouri are a little more liberty-minded than...
See, it's from what I understand, a pretty large field for the Republican primary.
Oh, really?
And there's also another Ron Paul Republican in the race.
Oh.
So there's going to be a little bit of who's more liberty.
Well, what I find interesting, though, is you talk about the man and his ideas and stuff, and he just because he's run a Republican, I don't think he's going to change his ideas. I think he's going to hold fast to that more than, say, like somebody, like a Rand Paul did, or some of these other guys who say they're libertarian leaning but aren't really. I think he'll actually hold on to that a little more, because if you look at his press release, he said the same thing for running as a Republican as he did for a Libertarian. He wants a lesbian couple to protect the marijuana fields with an AR-15. He still has the same values.
We'll see how he does that, though. I mean, I like the comparison to Rand.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are doing that right now. They're comparing, because Rand has actually successfully represented people for a while now. And a lot of people will say he's not a true libertarian. In my opinion, I'm still a Rand fan slightly, because I do hold that he has some values that do tie to the whole party in some way.
Oh, there's certainly some. I got a little bit cringy when he confirmed Jeff Sessions, but,
Yeah.
he's also good buddies with Ron Johnson. So,
Right.
I mean, and
I was hoping Ron was our own version of Rand Paul, but he's not.
yeah.
I mean, he's more. He leans more libertarian than, say, anybody else that would have been a Republican from Wisconsin. But
when you pass
Could have
that,
had Phil Anderson.
yeah, when you pass that 90% rhetoric threshold, you've then gone too far.
yeah, and you know, like I said, as long as we're moving that needle a little bit more, I guess that's okay. And I see there is a bit of a backlash towards the authoritarian ethnicity.
Authoritarianism.
I totally lost my train of thought, but that's okay because
When
what
we
is
talk-
what is Aleppo?
That's half of Aleppo's.
Is that like a bunch of letters and stuff that mean things?
Word, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, it is a word.
Oh.
Mystery solved.
Hey, we got that one down.
Boom. Fist bump.
Ow. That was a little hard.
Oh, man.
This is going well, folks. That's all right.
It's inspiring.
It wouldn't be us if we didn't goof around a little bit.
You talking about slapdashery?
Yeah, some good slapdashery right there. You know, to sum up the whole Peterson issue, because people have been talking about that way too much.
I'm happy to see someone take that move that's already had the spotlight. He's been with Fox for years. Then he ran as a libertarian. He's been in the spotlight. People know his name. So, yeah, make a move and actually put your wheels on the ground and do something. Get
And
some
I don't know if
traction.
any of you guys have heard, but even if Austin got wrecked in the primary, there'll still be a libertarian in the race, Alicia Dern.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah, good
I
call.
read something about that, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like she'll siphon some votes from him, and I don't really care about that because I'm an LP person, and go her. I hope she gets all the votes.
Yeah,
I hope she beats him. I hope she kicks his butt in the actual election.
Yeah, I mean, the odds are,
So he
realistically, can he even get past the primary? You know, if not, he ran as a
So
Republican.
there will be
he's
a
done then,
libertarian
you know.
primary. Is
I
she
hope
running
she-
as a libertarian?
Yeah.
So that makes it very interesting. Austin
Yep.
Peterson will be a Republican. There is a female running as a libertarian.
That's going to be hard.
interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be hard to like.
I
for
like
him
it.
To, for him to actually like. What does she
Now,
ask?
if we only had a libertarian running as a Democrat, we'd have this set.
Oh wow!
This sounds like a setup to me.
Wouldn't it be crazy if like there was one we just don't know about yet? That'd be awesome. We'd actually.
Well, you know, I'm pretty sure they're going to go with the incumbent, but still,
Right.
damn it.
Stupid incumbents.
All right, when I listened to your Vivi Media radio thing, I tuned in on your TuneIn radio app. This is what I heard.
Non-libertarians. I'm a libertarian.
Yeah, that's great, right? That's Steve, Chris and Steve from Matube.
Oh, those libertarians.
Yes. And now you can hear them on Vivi Radio.
So I think we're going to cover some news. I do have an article I want to bring up with you guys.
Yeah, you have actual
Yeah,
investigative
cool.
reporting paper.
You hear that? That's actual paper. This is an actual news article from a newspaper. And the headline says,
No longer readable.
hold on, I need to get my glasses on. State Supreme Court backs homeowners who barred assessor. Justices rule couple can challenge town's property valuation in court. This is a huge deal for Wisconsin. And as Reese probably knows, selling his house and all that stuff, you get tons of assessors and tax stuff.
Extra
and-
attention, that's a
yeah.
lot of fun. You get the inspections, there's a lot involved in selling a house or buying
Right.
or making improvements, all of that.
So what I should do is, I guess if you don't know what the story's about, I should explain a little bit. There was a tax assessor, and he was going around the neighborhood assessing houses, and he asked to be let in, and they said no. And because they wouldn't let him in, he still had to assess the house because he's doing his job. You know, I don't necessarily think he's an evil guy. Like, all tax people are evil, but that's beside the point. What he did is he just went ahead and assessed the house. Well, here's the rub. Out of that whole block, there was 4 people who didn't let him in the house. Every single person that didn't let him in the house, their property value went up, therefore their taxes went up. Everybody that didn't, who actually let him in, theirs went down. That sounds bad.
Well,
Nothing fishy there, right?
Sounds like
Yeah.
natural law.
Yeah, right.
Or not.
So what they did is they sued to be able to get their house reassessed to an actual what it should be assessed to. And they lost in the lower courts, and then they lost again, and they finally got it all the way up to the Supreme Court of Wisconsin, and the Supreme Court of Wisconsin said, yep, that's your Fourth Amendment right not to let a government official into your house unless there's a warrant. There you go.
Which is very surprising. It came out like that. You really wonder when an issue like that comes up, how it's going to work out. Will the court favor, especially in the past, if the local or the county courts have already ruled against?
Yeah, and what's interesting is if you think about it, this article here, this one, it kind of could be a little scary if you think about it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they're saying you can't let this tax assessor in unless he has a warrant because he's a government official. Now they're just going to issue warrants to all tax assessors to let them into your house, and you're going to have to let them into your house no matter what. It's hilarious to me.
So all that way just to keep the case alive.
Yes, exactly.
That's a fight. That is a long fight. That's not an easy one either because you've already lost.
Yep. And there was a couple judges that actually dissented too. I think there was, I want to say 3, but maybe there was only 2. And I'm like, what are you dissenting to? That's the Fourth Amendment. Like, I don't know, Fourth Amendment, who cares? The government should be allowed to go in your house whenever they want. You know, like, it doesn't matter if they're a tax assessor. and I guess my issue is, you said it when we were talking about it earlier, Chris. Don't you think the city has the house plans of all these houses already? Why do they need to come inside necessarily?
They want to make sure updates have not been made to the house that might be illegal, that might be hazardous to your health or something.
So you're not allowed to do things inside your own home to your own home?
Especially if they're over a certain dollar value. So if you do $10,000 in work, you got to make sure you register a permit with the city to do that construction of any kind, plumbing, electrical. You have to have certified people, and that has to be documented. I'll just keep going. But all these things, yes, all
I've
these
said
things.
it before, and I'll say it again. You might think you own your home, but
you're renting.
That's government property, but they're happy to let you mow it for them.
Yeah, right. Jesus.
I'm not even a fan of lawns.
That's the best part about living in an apartment is you never have to mow the lawn. That's the best part, I swear to God.
Yeah.
Or you have a really nice neighbor who seems to really enjoy doing it.
Yeah, it's always nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all renting here.
Like I said, to me, it makes it a little bit more scary. Like, they could end up going, well, okay, so this is the reason why this happened. Let's change the law. And next thing you know, you have the legislation saying now every time they have to issue a warrant. So now it's a warrant issue every time. So if you say no, you can actually go to jail for that.
It's if they would do that, or if a judge would issue a blanket warrant like that, because that's a lot of houses.
Right. I agree, but I feel like they might try to...
We could get to that point. I'm not saying we couldn't. That's the scary part.
I think this is like one of those slippery slope issues. Like, could it go that way? Yeah, it could. If you just happen to fall right off the wrong side of the slope. Is there more than one side to a slope?
Let's hope not.
I know.
There's no way out of that.
I always feel like there's 2 sides to every slope.
Yeah. A lot of dead air this episode.
Yeah.
Now I'm talking about opposite and equal errors. Always.
Yeah.
You gotta try to stay in that middle ground.
Which middle ground?
Well, on anything really. Say Hillary versus Trump. Neither.
That's middle ground. That's good middle ground. We also have a little bit we want to talk about in our bi-weekly city council.
Yeah, so you guys have to fill me in. Being Janesvillians, is that what you call yourselves?
Janesvillian.
Yeah.
Got the curly mustache, the top hat. Might tie Steve to the railroad tracks a little later.
I just call myself Steve. I don't need to identify as a...
It's a little more appropriate.
Janesvillian.
I can understand that.
Janesville City Council's at it again, folks. They're raising fees again. They just recently raised all the fees, and now they're raising them again because they are broke and they can't stop spending money.
Yeah, that's par for the course around here.
Yep. That's it seems like no one city council has any idea what actual money is and where it comes from. We have fees. Those fees are paid by someone, and that's the people of the city. But they don't see it that way because it's only, it's just an extra couple of dollars. I think they're raising, like, this is something I didn't know, first of all. The city of Janesville supplies the ambulances. So when you call for an ambulance, that's actually the city of Janesville that's picking you up. And it's like
Found that out the hard way not too long ago.
Yeah, I had no idea. And they're raising that fee up by about $100 an ambulance ride. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Why is the city of Janesville involved in any kind of medical issues?
Yeah, you'd think he'd be dealing with the hospital in any case, but no, not so much.
Yeah, you'd think it's like a private company or the hospital or something like that. But no, it's the city. That's so weird to me that the city controls that. Who made that rule? It makes you wonder, go back in time, however long ago, when they're like, well, we could have the hospital provide that, but why don't we do it?
For local news, I watched the Beloit City Council switch lanes. Our buddies at Switch Lanes. They're doing the first annual Peace in the Streets event.
Yes, it's going to be awesome.
They presented to the city of Beloit about their event, and the city of Beloit, the council, suspended all kinds of standard rules for them so that they could hold this event and let them do their event how they're planning to hold it. And so this event's going to have one parade at each side of Beloit, east and west side, and they're going to meet at Riverside for the actual Peace in the Streets event.
They're going to have acts, musical acts and stuff, right?
Yeah, it's a competition. It's a Switch Lanes theme song competition.
Yeah.
So that's very cool. It's a local nonprofit that needs a theme song. They're going to have hip hop artists, some big names. So
that's awesome.
Big event.
Yeah, definitely should check that out.
Sounds like a win to me.
Yep, August 20th in Beloit.
Awesome. Any other big news we got?
That's the biggest neose.
All right.
That's
it. I think we should switch gears a little. Switch lanes, switch gears.
Hey.
I see what you did.
See what I did there?
Oh.
I had to point it out, but yeah, that's fine. And talk about Larry Sharpe a little bit more than what we have, because we're going to be teasing something a little bit here really shortly. So we should talk about and explain why it's kind of a big deal that we're teasing this thing that we're going to be teasing shortly.
Well, stop teasing me. I want to hear this.
Well, we can't. It's going to be coming up later in the episode, so you're going to have to
I get it now.
tuned.
I get it now.
So we have a special guest caller.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, we have a special guest caller. I think we should go around the room here. Chris, we'll start with you. What do you think of Larry Sharpe and what you know of him and what your opinions are of the guy?
Well, as I kind of alluded to in the episode introduction, the man is probably the best unifier of libertarians I have yet seen. They talk about trying to herd cats. Well, he's got it down to a science.
Seems to, yeah.
And the man is relentless positivity. I can't say enough good things about him. He manages to take every controversy and use it as a catalyst to have everyone gets to work, pulls together, and
he's taken actual controversies from the Libertarian Party itself and kind of turned it on its head. Use that as a learning experience.
Every time he pulls something positive out of it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's great how he manages to take what should be, this is a disaster, and it's like, no, it doesn't have to be a disaster. This is our chance to learn, grow, pull together. Come on, we're all pretty much on the same side here.
Right.
Let's just keep pushing ahead.
Yep. What do you think, Reese, from what you know?
So I told you I watched a couple videos of him, and one thing I really liked is he wasn't aware of the Libertarian Party. He's fairly new to the party, but when he came to it, he said, "This liberal what? This liberal what?" And that's kind of how I felt about the whole party. I didn't understand that there was such a party, and as I started looking into some of the candidates at the time, then it slowly came into picture. This is really more of what I can see myself politically, ideology alike with. Just the fact that right there, liberal what? Liberal that's so simple, and that's kind of how I felt about the whole party. I wasn't a political person. I didn't know about the Democrat Party. I didn't know about the Republican Party. The Libertarian Party was the first political party that brought me in to politics and understanding political parties.
Right.
So for me, it was all liberal what, liberal who, Republic what.
Right.
So to know we had that common ground with the party.
That is pretty cool. I think maybe before I say what I think about the guy, I'll explain a little bit more about him for a lot of people who don't know. He ran for the vice presidential nominee in the Libertarian Party. A lot of people don't know the Libertarian Party doesn't do where the presidential nominee picks their vice president, they actually vote for the vice president. So you could actually run for both. Well, he only ran for the VP, and he finished second to somebody named Bill Weld. And the reason he finished second is because Gary Johnson, the presidential nominee, wanted Bill Weld. So a lot of libertarians thought, well, let's go that way. But
that's interesting.
Yeah, but he should have, I think, been the VP pick. You know, it is what it is. He seems like, to me, he seems like a really nice guy. And I think I think it's more his friendliness than anything. He looks like a guy, you know, they always say like George Bush, W. Bush, they like, oh, you know, everybody wants to drink a beer with him, you know, like or Obama, you know, everybody wants to drink a beer. I don't know if I'd want to drink a beer with him, but I would love to sit around a cup of coffee and have a huge, meaningful discussion with him.
Yeah, George Bush looked more like a guy who had some beers.
Yeah, right. But he looks like the guy you sit at a coffee shop or around, I actually more picture around his kitchen table with a pot of coffee and you just have a long, meaningful discussion.
Next thing you know, it's 4 hours later. Like, whoa,
like, oh my God, and you've covered like every subject from here to there, you know, like, and that's the way he seems to me from watching his videos. I obviously don't know the guy, I've never met him, never spoke to him, but that's the kind of person I think we need in the Libertarian Party. We need that person, like you said, as a uniter. He's somebody who even some of the most hardcore anarchists like him. But some of the limited government people like him, so everybody likes him.
He's, you know, hardcore as far as sticking to his principles, but he's never unkind about it.
No.
That's the key. This is what we have to do.
And I think he can help explain that to a lot of the other libertarians out there who are like I'm more libertarian than you, or you're not hardcore of enough of a libertarian. These kind of people, and I think he could you know, maybe bring them in and go, hey, look, it doesn't matter what kind of libertarian you are. You know, like what's his name, Dr. Feldman, when he said, what kind of libertarian? You know, I am that libertarian. He could make that actually become a thing. I mean,
he, you know, popularized the 80-20 thing. Let's talk about the 80% we all can agree on and not get stuck in the mud over the 20% that we have differences on.
Yep. And I think that whatever his decision is, because that's, you know, one of the things we're going to be talking about shortly is his decisions for his future coming up. I think that it bodes nothing but well for the Libertarian Party, having him as one of our spokesmen. And I think having him and Nicholas Sarwark right now as our two main spokesmen, that's the way I see it at least, is nothing but a boon for the Libertarian Party. It's going to do nothing but good things, because you've got kind of the snarky, smart, kind of like cocky Sarwark, you know, and then you have the
flip side of that coin.
Yeah, you have the flip side of that coin, the kind of nice, friendly, buddy, but also very stuck in his principles, Larry Sharpe. And that's what we need. We need that kind of duality a little bit in the Libertarian Party, where you can have kind of both attitudes, you know, because like
too much edgelord bad, you know.
Right. Yeah, like I just see like if those two were hanging out, Nicholas Sarwark would be on Facebook just putting like the most dankest memes, and Larry Sharpe would be sitting behind him going, just shaking his head, you know.
Sipping the coffee.
Just sipping his coffee.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, come on, bro.
A lot of libertarian podcasts out there that I've listened to for years that I think if you don't know about them and you're looking for libertarian content for podcasting, there's a few good resources that I think they're worth checking out.
But there's something other than Muh Radio? Like, there's no need to listen.
After you check out Muh Radio and you're like, oh, I need more, and I can't wait till next week.
Listen to the episode again.
Yes.
And then again. And then again.
And then again.
Welcome back. We have with us on the phone from Larry Sharpe's marketing team, Lauren Grindstaff McKinnon. Hey, Lauren.
Hey, how are you?
We're good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I am really getting excited. We're just a couple days away from Larry's big announcement. Are you guys pumped?
Yes, very much so.
We're getting like more pumped by the second.
Yes. I know.
So are you going to tell us what he's going to say?
I'm not at liberty to say what he's going to say.
But
I cannot confirm or deny.
But he's a libertarian, so you should be at liberty to be able to say what he's going to say, right? Isn't that how that works?
Totally, and as per the NAP, he is not forcing me to not say anything. However, I have chosen to agree.
Wow, well said.
He's a private entity. He can make certain suggestions.
Wait, even as a public figure, he's a private entity?
Inception.
Very thoughtful.
Mind blown.
Inception.
how's he going to make the announcement? Is it going to be on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram?
He actually has it set up. If you go to his website, LarrySharpe.com, and you can sign up the evening of the 12th, he's going to go live, and you can see it through his web page. And of course, once it's out there, it's out there. Anybody can access it.
Right.
It'll be on Facebook and everywhere. But the announcement live will be through his website. So anybody who wants to see it live, like the best way to do that, anybody who wants to get involved and help and volunteer for what we're doing, that's a great place to go also to sign up. We're definitely looking for volunteers, and obviously we'll be able to say more about that after the 12th. But yeah, we're really excited about this. So we're starting to pick up some steam and gather more volunteers, and
so
really exciting things happening.
So is it governor or is it mayor?
Can we give a multiple choice?
You just nod nod your head if we say it. How about that?
There you go. Oh, I saw her nod.
Yep.
Yeah, now we know.
Now we know.
But you're going to have to wait till the 12th, people. We know. You got to tune in.
I think he's. Is he challenging Kristen Hawthorne for the Galactic Queen? So it would be Galactic King. Is that what it is? So that would make him the king of the galaxy, right?
Did you just assume his gender?
I guess I did. Oops.
You assumed his gender, And I don't know that anybody could possibly challenge Kristen Hawthorne for Queen of Galaxy. I mean, she's pretty much bae.
That's true.
Wow, we never thought it'd get to this.
Right? Yeah.
We layers upon layers.
So, how did you get involved with Mr. Larry Sharpe?
It really started. I think everybody has my libertarian story started once upon a time, and for a bunch of us, that was Austin Peterson.
Right.
And through Austin Peterson, I got to know who Larry Sharpe was, and I followed his VP campaign and all of that, and I really connected. And you know how the Facebook world is. We all just sort of connected, and I've continued to follow him. And some of the people that have worked with him and that I've also worked with, they know my background in marketing and advertising and things like that. We just sort of connected that way. And they were looking for some team members, and I jumped right in that, right on that bandwagon.
Nice.
I've been a huge Larry supporter from day one. And what I really, really love about Larry is the fact that the Libertarian Party has its own sort of Kinsey scale, I guess. I mean, you've got your far, anarchist, and then you've got your conservatarian that's, on the other end. And I have yet to meet a single person on any point in that spectrum that has anything negative to say about the man, at all.
Yeah, that's true.
That was my takeaway. I became aware of him around the same time you say you did, right before the convention. These videos came out. I'm like, who's Larry Sharpe? And I'm like, oh, that's Larry Sharpe. Where have you been all my life?
Right. I can't have been the only person going, why didn't this man run for president instead of VP? Right? He's so qualified. He's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant.
I think that's a testament to his humility, though. He was taking his time, working
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You're announcing that he's going to run for president in 2018?
I wouldn't run in 2018. That's a bad presidential year to run.
Yeah, but he could still win. He'd be running unopposed, though. Nobody else would be running for president in 2018. He could win.
That's a good plan.
Absentee ballots for Larry right now.
Yep.
Right. Well, didn't Adam Kokesh announce his run for 2020, in 2016? So, I guess it's not far-fetched.
Maybe that's what he's doing. He's trying to get out ahead of the game there.
There's only one way to know for sure, though. You got to tune in when Larry makes this announcement.
Absolutely. LarrySharpe.com.
Right. And is that SHARP or SHARPE? Yes. Okay. I just wanted to
SHARPE.
I want to make sure people knew that. That way they don't go to the wrong website and
don't go to the other one.
Yeah, because that's where they try to sell you knives and stuff.
Yeah, Larry Sharpe's Emporium.
Right. Isn't there an old WWF wrestler that was Larry Sharpe too?
There is.
I'd probably take you to his bio page.
Yeah, I saw that.
Who was it? Nicholas Beazer did a quick teaser piece on.
I saw that today.
And that was really exciting to watch. He made a lot of wrestling jokes I thought were pretty funny.
Yep.
So maybe that is the big announcement. Maybe he was onto something.
He's going
maybe
back to
Larry's
pro
going to become a
wrestling.
professional wrestler.
He's big enough. He looks like he could
he
wrestle.
looks like
He's
he
a pretty big
could,
guy.
So,
By God, it's Larry Sharpe with a steel chair. Except
Just
he's
gonna
not going to use it unless you aggress upon him first.
Could you imagine the convention next year? Tables, ladders, and chairs.
On a purely voluntary basis. Got to sign a bunch of waivers.
Only if you volunteer.
So I think one of the things I like about him is the fact that we said this early in our episode. Obviously, you didn't hear it, but how he tends to take a negative from the Libertarian Party and turn it into a positive. Like, say, Austin Peterson leaving, he kind of turned that into a learning experience. Like, let's learn from it. Why did we screw up? Why did we lose this guy?
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the things that makes him so successful in his life. And there was a video he put out last year before the convention, and he talked about his life story and everything that he's been through. And you can't get through life without learning how to make a negative into a positive when you've been through some of the things that he's been through and many things that a lot of us have been through. And I think we can learn a lot from that. His experience in the military and the Marines, and then starting a business and starting another business and being a business consultant and having a family. I mean, you learn how to manage those things and become level-headed, find the positive in things, because if you're the one leading people, you have to lead by example. And I think he has continued to lead by a very positive example, especially times like now with Austin Peterson leaving the party. There's a lot of tension in the party. And I think it's nice to have that voice of just clarity to say, hey, guys, we lost an asset, but we need to pick ourselves up by the bootstraps and buckle down and do what we do best.
Yep.
And Larry Sharpe is that voice of reason that I think we all need.
Post-election, there's any of 100 reasons for the LP to fly apart the seams, but he seems to be a big part of the glue that holds us together right now.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how many people have said something very similar to that to me. Oh, Larry Sharpe is the reason I, am part of this party or am staying or feel this strongly about liberty. He has been an active inspiration to not just the Libertarian Party, but the Liberty movement as a whole, because, the Liberty movement doesn't just encompass the Libertarian Party.
Right.
That, as Larry has put it, that is the political arm of the Liberty movement. But there are independents, Green Party, there are GOP and even Democrats that have more liberty leanings but may not be part of the party. And I think that he is absolutely somebody who can reach out cross party lines and really inspire people, his message.
And who is better than Larry when it comes to delineating the difference between rulership and leadership? He says, here's what I'm going to do. If you want to join in doing that, do that. And there's always a huge positive reaction. Everyone wants to join in.
Right. Well, as a leader, as someone who's, I'm in a management role, I always say that I'm not going to ask my employees to do something that I'm not willing to do myself. And I think that he feels this. I feel like he's kind of the same way with that. This is what I'm doing. Let's all do it. And that's how you lead, is you lead by example. You lead from the front. You don't lead from the back.
Absolutely. I remember several years ago, I worked in a local newspaper in South Carolina, and up on the wall was this image, and I've seen it many times since then, but this is the first time I saw it. It said, one side of the image said, "This is the boss," and it had all of the employees sort of toting the boss behind them, and the boss with a whip, you know, and then it said, "This is the leader," and had the image of the leader in front leading his people, helping to, pull whatever it was they were pulling. And that depiction so very clearly defines the type of leader that Larry Sharpe is.
Very much so.
And frankly, I mean, he's taken on a huge weight with this. That makes everyone want to pull a little bit more.
Yep.
Exactly. Especially now, things are a little contentious within the party, and we're coming up on the election year. Okay, are there going to be new people running for LNC chair and vice chair and all these things? There's smaller elections, which after the presidential election, of course, as third party, we really buckle down and focus on our local elections, our state elections, our county elections, any of that stuff. And so we're really focusing hard on these things, and so much going on. There's, Austin Peterson in Missouri, and there's Marissa Hamilton in Arizona. We've got some liberty warriors out there in their own areas doing stuff.
Yep.
And what's funny is we should be coming together and rooting all of these people on.
Oh,
we
yeah.
really should. And there's a lot of tension right now, and I think Larry really brings that feeling of unity back to the Libertarian Party.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. It's just so easy to forget, when there's a big negative story or a big inter-LP struggle, that we have so many great people coming up the pipeline. And I mean, what it looks like now is not what it's going to look like in a year, 2 years.
Yeah.
And 2020 especially. I'm so pumped for the people we're having climbing up that ladder.
So I got a quick question for you. This is going to be total speculation on your part. We're more than likely guessing that he's going to run for office. We're not 100% sure what it might be, and I know you can't say yet. If he were to win that seat wherever he's running, does he run for the LP nomination in 2 years, do you think? It would be all speculation, but just curious on your thought of that.
It depends on what he's running for. If what he's running for is a 2-year thing, then maybe that's a possibility and something to look at in the future. If what he's running for is a 4-year thing, I say finish the term, finish the job. And I think that's probably something that Larry would say. If you start something, you finish it.
Right.
And so if whatever he's doing is a 4-year thing, I think that he will finish out his 4 years and then go on from there.
So we kind of want him to win, but at the same time we kind of don't want him to win then, because then we're losing our potential nominee in 2020 if he wins a 4. But then
I'm just hoping it's not a 10-year thing.
Yeah, right. Even a good showing, I think, especially he's from New York, so whatever he'd be running in New York would be huge because people talk about New York, either the city or the state itself, because it's such a big deal in American politics. Yeah.
Nobody can name the mayor of some big town in Nebraska, but everybody knows the mayor of New York City.
Yeah, I literally said that to Chris on the way over here. Think about if he runs for governor. The governor of New York. Do you even know the governor of another state other than your home state?
No, a lot of people do.
Yeah.
You got to cut me a little slack here because I just moved to Indiana, but I don't even know who my governor is. Is that terrible?
That is pretty bad.
I've seen the name. I know I have, and I just can't think of his name.
Wasn't Pence from Indiana?
He was, yeah.
Was he the governor?
Yeah, Pence was the governor here.
Okay, so they obviously had to replace that guy with somebody else. So that kind of makes sense. He's only been in office for 6 months, so.
And I just moved here, and I'm so, engrossed in the LPs, so I don't. I'm well, they're not my party.
Yeah, you're like somebody that's going to lose to an LP person eventually anyway. So what does it matter?
Right, you're going to lose to the LP eventually. So I don't really care.
Yeah, we'll just be over here when you want us.
We are coming to take over so that we can leave everybody alone. I mean, isn't that basically
that's what we want? Yep.
That's our sinister plan.
Quick reminder again, and I can't say this enough times to everybody listening, please go sign up at LarrySharpe.com. The big announcement will be on the evening of the 12th.
Oh, cannot
Try to get that said as many times as I can.
Did you say what time he'll be doing that? I don't remember.
It'll be in the evening, kind of leaving that up in the air. We want people to be on their toes, paying attention. Between 5 and 6 p.m. Eastern would be a good time to start tuning in.
Okay.
If you want to be sure to have that alert, sign up at LarrySharpe.com.
Oh, and you'll get an alert for that then, huh?
Right. When you sign up for the website, we will email you an update, and you get emails from Larry Sharpe telling you what's going on and what he's doing. So that's super cool.
Yeah, that's definitely cool. That's definitely something I'll be having to check out myself.
Much transparency.
Definitely.
And do you maybe know what his opinion of silly hats are? Would he wear one for the interview?
That is kind of your thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it kind of is.
I don't really know, but
negotiations go into 18th hour.
Right.
Right. He's a pretty fun guy. He just might go for it.
Awesome. That'd be great. All right. Well, thanks for calling.
Thank you guys so much for having me on.
So who's hosting this show?
You are.
Vivi Media. Vivi Media. right? Huh? Exactly. Vivi Radio Online, host to Beloit's only 24/7 online radio station. Vivi promotes local music, bands, businesses, nonprofits, as well as individuals, groups, and other organizations. Online radio, podcasting, and unique audio advertising, Vivi Media offers a range of services to help complete your next media project. And the best part, we put local first. For more details, email Reese at vivimedia.org. That's REESE at VIVImedia.org, vivimedia.org. Or find Vivi Media on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Send us your questions and we'll get right back.
Real quick before we go, we're going to talk about 2020. We've kind of alluded to it a little bit with Larry Sharpe. So we're going to kind of mention some of the potential people that'll be there with him if he doesn't win.
Who are you going to see potentially? Right. Let's speculate for a little bit here because
to clarify for president.
No matter what political party you are, Democrat, if you're a Republican, if you're a Libertarian, if you're Green Party, you're looking at your candidates already. I feel like people are looking at elections earlier, more sooner. So in general, we have a list.
Should be, yeah.
I mean, education ahead of time, it's always a good thing.
Yes.
I hate having to be like, who's this guy? I got to decide in 3 months,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you have a list of some potentials, huh? Let's hear them.
Biden, a lot of people are passing. There's always Joe Biden.
As a libertarian?
No, these are just potential people who are running across, not libertarian, across the whole field.
Okay, I got you.
Competition. So you could kind of see who Larry would be up against.
I got you.
Because libertarian doesn't just take all.
Right.
But Governor Jerry Brown of California.
Okay.
Also, celebrities. Stephen Colbert is mentioned once or twice, and people are, but for another celebrity, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, talk about wrestlers.
I don't know if he'd want to stop making movies, though.
Yeah.
I can see him authentic.
He teased the idea,
did he?
Like in a sketch.
I can see it being authentic, but we'll see. Eric Holder, people have said some.
Oh God,
rumors
please no!
Yeah, right, a little Bush administration back in your life, just a little Bush administration, just a little. But those are just some of the names. When it comes to libertarians, what I was kind of asking you guys during our break is, what names from previous elections do you think are going to not come back? Because we have Austin Peterson,
Ron Paul.
Baby, come back.
Ron Paul's not coming back, definitely. But Peterson, we talked about early in the episode, he's, possibly he could win, he could lose. If he does lose, will he come back to the party? That's a big speculation.
With Austin Peterson, I'd give it, flip a coin, 50-50 chance he'd come back.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, depending on whether he wins or not. If he wins, he won't. But if he doesn't win, which I really doubt he will, but if he doesn't win.
But other libertarians try to rule out one that ran in 2016.
I think a lot of people are like, is Gary coming back? I think it's incredibly unlikely that he would do anything in terms of another presidential run. He's been through the meat grinder twice. I think he's finished with that.
Yeah. I would imagine it's pretty soul-sucking to run that much and be that much in the media like that. And I can't imagine wanting to do it more than once or twice. Usually you see that even in the mainstream parties, guys run once or twice, and then after that, I mean, like, why didn't Romney run again this year? It's because
I think the only person,
that grueling...
Yeah, the only person so obsessed with the presidency that they would do it a third time would be Hillary Clinton.
Oh, you really think?
I think she would try.
Democrats are facing, they're looking for a candidate, and Republicans also. So
yeah, I feel like the Democrats were the Republicans were 4 years ago. Where they just didn't have a head of their party, if you will. I guess that's one advantage we have with having someone like Larry Sharpe. I feel like he is kind of the head of the Libertarian Party, the kind of the main guy. Now that Austin's gone.
In terms of the grassroots, man, it's got to be Larry.
Yeah, and that's what you always you want a party to have, like a big figurehead. We have Nicholas Sarwark, our chairman. He's not the leader of the party per se. He's the head of the actual committee, but he's not a leader, in the party.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
As far as the political arm goes, he's the official authority. But there's so many voices in our party that are our leaders too, maybe even more so than the official leadership.
Right. I think what we'll see in a few years is we'll see someone pop out like Austin Peterson that we didn't expect.
Yes.
And I really hope so. And I don't think we'll see McAfee. I don't really think he's coming.
I don't think he's doing his own business right now.
So
I see Daryl Perry as being one of those perennial people who are always going to be kind of in the field.
I could see that. I'd see him more. I could see like a Sharpe Perry ticket. That'd be kind of nice. Or would it be? Is it reverse?
Yeah, someone actually did like a Facebook poll on that. I think it was actually Bryce Peterson, no relation to Austin, who put up a poll. What would you think of a Sharpe Perry ticket?
Did it go over well?
It was leading as far as the options went. I can't remember what the other options were.
That's pretty good though.
But yeah, Bryce is known for putting like people you wouldn't expect together in theoretical tickets and seeing what people would.
Oh, that's cool.
Would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to have.
He's from Idaho, just like my bestie, Jessica Baird. If you're listening, keep rocking that tater power.
What's great is I think 2020 is looking like a year we're going to see a lot of names that are new.
Yeah. I have a feeling
fresh.
that, yes. Because the fact that we don't really have any kind of mainstays right now. And I'm sorry, I'm glad Gary's doing his thing, and I'm glad he's not.
He's still he's athletic.
Yeah,
he's out there.
I'm just hoping he's
climbing
not,
mountains.
he doesn't run. I like him as a person, but not as a candidate.
I doubt he's going to run. If he keeps doing what he's doing now, just fundraising and kicking ass against the debate commission, which, I mean, who can argue with that?
Oh, I would like to point something out. Here's a name we haven't mentioned. So the other day, Nicholas Sarwark, after Austin Peterson announced he was leaving, he goes, "Oh, by the way, Bill Weld is a lifetime member of the Libertarian Party. He's paid up to that. I think it's $10,000. You pay $10,000 and you're automatically a lifetime member. So Bill Weld is a Libertarian member. Could we see a Bill Weld on the ticket?" If you look at the people that voted for, if the same people that go to the convention that voted for Gary vote, we will see Bill Weld at the top of our ticket. And if that happens, I may leave the LP.
I'm with you on that.
I think it's
just to distance myself from that guy.
Well, how about we
think
make
it's unlikely. They only agreed to Weld because of Johnson. And
I'm hoping that's all it is.
friendly wager right now? If that happens, new party starts. I don't know what it is. The Liberty Party, I don't know what, but it's getting a new branding. And moving on, that ship will sail.
Yeah, that's a terrible. That's basically throwing out all our principles to.
Well, that would be
with a big
running
name.
Gary again, and
Yeah.
Gary, as we just said, nothing against Gary, but we do not need him to run again.
No,
We need
yeah.
We need those fresh faces
Yes.
and
I
names that
think
are out there to run.
Yeah, I just think the majority of libertarians are looking ahead. They don't want to repeat.
We need the
I'm
Sharps.
hoping,
we need the
yeah.
likes.
I'm just
because-
hoping we have somebody who shows up who's like an Austin Peterson that tends to be more of a uniter than like that, so that we at least have someone to run against Sharpe. I think Sharpe, if he runs, he's going to win. I think we need someone to at least challenge him in the debates and that kind of thing. So I'm
Well,
kind
these
of
are
hoping
good times,
we have
and
that.
the stakes are high, and we
Yep.
have, we already have one candidate who sets a high bar. Sharp's out there, and
I'm
let's
just
see
saying.
who comes up.
If Larry runs for president, if he gets that nomination, becomes the LP nominee for the office of president, we're going to see a more united, stronger Libertarian Party than we've ever seen before.
I agree.
Everyone can rally to that dude.
Yep.
I can't.
Except
I
for the
haven't
guy
found-
who took his shirt off at the nomination last year.
Oh.
That guy, you couldn't unite him if you tried. I don't know.
Yeah.
Excluding that guy, you're
Yeah,
right.
everyone but Weeks. But
Everyone, thanks for listening, and see you later.
hey, you stepped on my see you line.
What? Why would you do that? That's terrible.
Yeah, I know, right? Come on, bro.
Come on, bro.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Come on, bro.
Come on, bro.
Bro.
Come on, bro.
Bro. Bro.
Bro. Come on, bro.